Chapter-1 Resources and their types. Let's learn resources, types of resources, human resources, resource conservation. Resources are essential for our survival. They are used for satisfying our needs. They are a kind of wealth for the human beings, and every resource has its own utility. For example, the food that we eat, the clothes that we wear, the houses in which we live, the furniture, utensils, stationery and vehicles that we use are all made from materials obtained from nature. The natural resources such as soils, rocks, vegetation, minerals, etc. are available in a large quantity. Early humans were completely dependent upon the environment as they were not familiar with the utility and application of these bounties of nature. Resource is anything that can be used to satisfy human needs. A thing becomes a resource when its utility has been identified. For instance, existence of oil on earth has been for millions of years. But it became a resource only when humans learned how to use it. The utility of any natural resource can be determined by the following factors: the form in which it occurs, the place where it occurs, efforts required in processing it, the cost of processing it. The use of a resource depends on its value. Value of a resource is determined if we can use them for our benefit with the help of suitable technology. Everything available in the environment cannot be classified as a resource unless and until it is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable. Technology and time can help change anything into a resource. If we have technology to harness the benefits of something, then we can label it as a resource, and on that basis, we can determine its utility and value. In fact, humans are also a resource, and for that matter, the most important resource on the earth, because by developing human skills only, other resources can be developed. It is human knowledge, ideas, discoveries and inventions that lead to the creation of more resources. Types of resources. Resources are generally classified into natural, human-made and human. Natural resources on the basis of origin are of two types, biotic and abiotic. On the basis of development are potential and actual. Natural resources on the basis of renewability are of two types, renewable and non-renewable. On the basis of distribution, again are of two types, ubiquitous and localized. Natural resources. Everything acquired from the environment which is used by living organisms including humans such as air, water, soil, minerals, fossil fuels, plants and wildlife is called a natural resource. Natural resources occur naturally within environments that exist undisturbed by humanity in a natural form. They are derived from the environment. Some natural resources can be used directly, that is, without modifying or processing them. However, for some natural resources, tools and technology are required to process them and in turn make them fit for our consumption. For example, air, fruits, sunlight, etc. can be used directly, but minerals have to be separated from the ores to make them usable. Natural resources can be classified as follows. On the basis of origin, biotic resources. All living things are known as biotic resources. These resources are obtained from the biosphere and they have life, such as human beings, flora and fauna, fisheries, etc. Most of the biotic resources can reproduce, given favorable environmental conditions. Abiotic resources. All non-living things are known as abiotic resources such as wind, water, air, rocks, metals, etc. With their excessive use, these resources can be exhausted very quickly. These cannot be reproduced by human effort. On the basis of development, potential resources. Potential resources are those resources which are found in a region but are not being fully utilized due to inaccessibility and inappropriate technology. These resources can be developed fully in future with technological development. They need detailed surveys for the estimation of their quality and quantity. Solar energy, wind energy, and tidal energy are some of the examples of potential energy resources. Rajasthan and Gujarat have great potential for the development of these resources. Largest solar plant in India, Charanka Solar Park, Patan, Gujarat. Largest wind farm cluster in India, Jaisalmer Wind Park, Rajasthan. Actual or developed resources. Actual resources are those resources which are surveyed and quantified for use, and their existence has been proved in terms of quality, quantity, and location, and are accessible with the available technology. Coal reserves of Ruhr Valley, Germany, and petroleum reserves of West Asia's Assam oil fields, Damodar coal fields are some of the examples. The windmills in Tamil Nadu and the Netherlands now generate electricity. Now here, high-speed wind is an actual or developed resource. On the basis of renewability, renewable resources. Resources which can be renewed or reproduced are known as renewable resources. For example, solar energy, wind energy, water, etc. Resources like wind, sunlight are present in such huge quantities that human consumption does not affect them. These are inexhaustible resources. InfoHive. Ocean waves can be used to generate wave power, which is a renewable energy. Many resources are replenishable, which means they are recycled with the environment by natural process and their quantities remain constant. For example, oxygen cycle and water cycle, which take place rapidly, whereas processes like rock cycle are very slow. Non-renewable resources. These resources get exhausted when used and cannot be renewed or reproduced. Fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, natural gas are the best examples of non-renewable resources. These resources are limited in supply and it takes millions of years in their formation. Hence, they are also known as exhaustible resources. Brain tickler. Is soil a renewable resource? On the basis of distribution. Resources are not uniformly distributed over the earth. Some natural resources, such as sunlight and air, which can be found everywhere, are referred to as ubiquitous resources. However, most resources, such as minerals, only occur in small areas and are referred to as localized resources. Human-made resources. Resources created by human beings are called human-made resources. For example, buildings, roads, etc. Sometimes natural substances become resources only when their original form has been changed. Iron ore was not a resource until people learned to extract iron from it. People use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery, and vehicles, which are known as human-made resources. Technology is also a human-made resource. Human resources. Human resources refer to the number and ability of the people. Ability in terms of knowledge, health, skill, etc. They are the most important resources for the development of both the country as well as the individual. When a country possesses sufficient number of highly educated and trained people, it can achieve high productivity and efficiency, reducing wastage of scarce resources. Human resources are also important to each individual because they assist other people in improving and using their capacities and potentialities to the utmost. Improving the quality of people's skills so that they are able to create more resources is known as human resource development. Resource conservation. All natural resources on the earth are unevenly distributed due to several factors like relief, climate, topography, geology of the region, etc. With increase in population, demand for resources has increased many-fold, which has led to over-exploitation of resources. Resources are vital for human survival, as well as for maintaining the quality of life. It was believed that resources are free gifts of nature. As a result, human beings used them indiscriminately, and this has led to the following major problems. Depletion of resources for satisfying the greed of a few individuals, accumulation of resources in a few hands, which in turn divided the society into two segments of haves and have-nots, or rich and poor. Indiscriminate exploitation of resources has led to global ecological crises such as global warming, ozone layer depletion, environmental pollution, and land degradation. Info Hive. Recycling is a part of waste disposal hierarchy. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Using resources judiciously and giving them time to get renewed is called resource conservation. Resources can be conserved by adopting sustainable development mode. Sustainable development means development should take place without damaging the environment, and development in the present should not compromise with the needs of future generations. Following are some principles of sustainable development: respecting and caring for all forms of life, improving the quality of human life, conserving the earth's vitality and diversity, minimizing the depletion of natural resources, changing personal attitude and practices towards the environment, enabling communities to care for their own environment. Recap. A resource is something which is being used or has the potential to be used in future. Resources can be classified on different bases such as origin, renewability, utility, and stage of development. Natural resources can be classified as such on the basis of origin, biotic, abiotic, on the basis of development, potential, actual, on the basis of renewability, renewable, non-renewable, on the basis of distribution, ubiquitous, localized. Human-made resources are the resources created by human beings. Human resource is the most important resource because the development of other types of resources depends on it.